Gorosei theory. Film Red spoiler-ish. This post discusses some things we learned about Shanks in Film Red, though not any plot points of the movie itself, so minor spoilers for that. I was talking to a non-One Piece friend about what we learned about Shanks' heritage in Film Red, and he asked, well, what, story-wise, are the implications of Shanks being a celestial dragon? And at the time I didn't have an answer beyond it being interesting lore. Later I was chatting online with another fan about the Gorosei and specifically the theory that the Gandhi-looking one has the Shodai Katetsu. That's when a weird theory sprung into my head that I figured I'd share with y'all. In the new film, it's heavily implied that Shanks is a celestial dragon by birth, and we also get a better understanding of just what an insane haki user he really is, being able to do things like negate future sight that, as far as we know, even the likes of Roger couldn't do. What if these two things aren't unrelated? Maybe the Gorosei aren't just a handful of old politicians in a room, but actually are skilled fighters on their own. One of them is in possession of one of the 12 strongest swords in the world, and it's becoming increasingly clear that for a sword to reach that level requires an equally powerful wielder. Then you take Doflamingo into account too, and it's starting to look like every celestial dragon that actually takes the time to train turns into an incredibly strong fighter. Now we've gone from a room full of old politicians to a room full of Shanks lights, would make for some pretty cool endgame bosses, no? Now let's strap on our tin-foil hats and really dive into the conspiracy deep end. What if the fact that the celestial dragons have been given everything they desire and essentially lulled into excess and sloth is intentional? What if is actually suppressing this faction of people with insane haki prowess through luxury? I've always thought it would be kind of lame if the big secret of the Void Century was just that the WG did a big war and took over. Doesn't really seem like something so important that you destroy islands for even trying to learn about it. The very fact that the public knows that the WG bombs islands out of existence sometimes is proof in itself that they don't care about people knowing about mass murders. Maybe it was much more complicated than that. Maybe the celestial dragons are the D-clan. The Ds are the enemy of the gods, and the Lunarians were once known as a tribe of gods when they lived on top of the Red Line. The D-clan were used to usurp them, then placated to prevent them turning on their own masters. It's not hard to see how they might fall for it. Those with the D seem to prioritize freedom over almost anything else, and the sales pitch of becoming a celestial dragon is as free as it gets. Those who have the D initial in modern times are very, very distant descendants, offshoots of those who didn't fall for the trick and kept their true autonomy. The secret of the Void Century is that even the very gods of the world themselves are puppets. Or maybe I'm way off, probably actually, but what do you guys think? Any parts you like or obvious things I missed?